everyone. It's time for what we've all been waiting for, Paleontology Part 1. We're going to be identifying some fossils. Yeehaw! This is my fossil collection, some of my favorites. I'm so excited I can't even speak. Got some algamats here, some plants here. So here we go. Geology. Similarly to your Rock ID labs, this lab is going to go over looking at fossils and identifying them. We're going to stick to just a few different phyla and one kingdom for this one. The one kingdom is Protista, and the other phyla that we're going to go over is Porifera, Naderia, Bryozoa, and Brachiopods. So we're going to stick to these, and just like with Rock ID, an important part of this lab is going to be getting comfortable with your identification sheet. So here we go. Your ID sheet is going to be broken up into your different kingdoms and phyla, and you can use this to figure out what you're looking at. So let's start with the first one. That's going to be down here with Kingdom Protista. One thing to pay attention to here is the scale bars. These things are really, really, really small. So they're going to be microscopic. A lot of times you're going to get microscope slides or a blown up model for these guys. This is because Protista are single cell eukaryotic organisms, and there's going to be a few basic types you're looking for. These could be foraminifera, coccolithophores, diatoms, or radiolaria. And these will almost always be in the form of microscope slides. So that's going to be a big hint, and then you can use your sheet to narrow it down from there. Next up is porifera, or sponges. Sponge spicules could also be microscopic. So you might see a microscope slide, one of them being sponge spicules. So pay attention to that. The others are going to be bigger, and you'll be able to see them. You're going to really want to look at the shape of the different pieces that make up the sponge and sort of what they look like. Are they dimpled, or are they kind of put together? Next is going to be Naderia, and what we're really looking for here is corals. Sea anemones and jellyfish are also in this phylum, but they're very soft and not well preserved, so what we're really going to be looking for is corals. Here what you're going to be looking for is shape. Do they have more of this rounded hexagonal form, or do they have a true hexagonal square form? Do they have little dots? Or they're rugose coral? Now, when you see this, it's going to look just like the sheet. Okay, so next we're moving down to Bryozoa. Bryozoa are little guys with lothophores, and a lothophore filters out food and oxygen into the mouth and will protect the organism. These were the primary reef builders in the Paleozoic. These are also kind of easy to pick out once you get them down. You'll get these nice little spirally structures that used to look like this back when the thing was growing out of the ocean bottom. You're going to see that they look a lot like things you find on the beach. Okay, next we're at Brachiopods. So these things look like shells, but they're not bivalves like you normally see. There's some really wicked cool looking ones that kind of grow up out of there. There's actually a sample that looks like this. Look out for it. But most of them you find in the field and sea are going to look like this shell with this little piece down the middle. Here we go. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of them, so identify them very carefully. So I don't have too much more to say on this. That's a basic guide, but definitely ask questions. Sean also took pictures of all the samples because we really want it to be clear to you guys, so you'll have this video if you want to kind of 3D spin thing, and then you can just look at pictures if you need to. Whichever way you want to do it, and I'm always here to ask questions, email me, whatever. The lecture should have been way more informative on this kind of stuff. I'll go into a lot more detail, or went into a lot more detail. You guys probably have already seen it. So yeah, good luck with this, and here you go.